Greetings from the Wild Animal Sanctuary. My name is Maria, and I have had the privilege of serving on the Sanctuary's board for several years now. But I am here tonight, joining you live from the Lion House. The lions were out in their habitat today, and they have come into the house to hang with us and spend a little time with us this evening. We've got handsome Leo, look at this guy. He's been keeping a good eye on me and enjoying the show. And then over here is Nala. Hi, Nala. How are you doing, beauty? Hi, beauty. She's having a good time. I wish you guys could see too, their little tongue comes out when she's watching. So cute. Aren't you so cute? Hi. Anyway, we're really excited to have you here tonight and to introduce you to some of these exceptional, beautiful, magnificent animals that call this extraordinary place home. And so, welcome. Do you know we have people logging in from all around the planet tonight, and we are honored you stayed up late or got up early to log in and join us for this historic event from all corners of the world. Tonight is our second annual virtual event. Last year, you raised well over $500,000 to help these rescued animals in less than 45 minutes. The rescues you're going to experience tonight were only made possible through the support of donors like you. So thank you so much for your gifts last year. With the state of today's economy and with donations down, we hope to raise even more this year. So thank you for those of you who are here for these animals tonight. And for those of you who are new, or for those of you that would like a refresher on this interactive event, here's how all of this technology works. All right, you're gonna notice a fabulous giant scoreboard on the screen right here that will be updated periodically throughout the night as donations come in. There's a donate button on the page you logged into, so just be sure to stay tuned into the live stream, as there's a ton of cool stuff we'll be sharing with you throughout the evening. And periodically, we'll send you over to Jess for updates about how things are going. And of course, many of you may be new to the Sanctuary. So here's a whirlwind tour of what this amazing organization is all about.
Totally.
The Wild Animal Sanctuary is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to educating people about the captive wildlife crisis throughout the world while providing a safe, large habitat for over 700 lions, tigers, bears, wolves, and many other species of carnivore. The vast majority of the animals we house were confiscated from illegal and abusive situations by law enforcement agencies. Many were rescued from private homes, circuses, and even zoos that were closed down. The ultimate goal with every rescued animal is to gently introduce them to living in a large, open habitat with others of their kind. For many, their journey to freedom involves extensive medical treatment to nurse them back to health. Stepping out into their habitat is the first time they've ever felt grass or dirt underfoot. So we introduce them slowly through our innovative large habitat rehabilitation process that helps them adjust from small cage all the way to large open habitats. The Wild Animal Sanctuary provides an incredible new life for these rescued animals in our 3 facilities, 2 in Colorado and 1 in Texas. The main facility in Keensburg is the only one open to the public and features a 1.5-mile long elevated walkway, which allows visitors to view the animals without disturbing them in any way. Big is the name of the game around these parts, and the sanctuary features over 10,000 acres of land available for habitats. That's over 15 square miles. Many of the individual animal habitats are larger than most zoos. For example, the world-renowned San Diego Zoo has over 100 acres of total land, whereas one single habitat at the refuge is over 250 acres in size. simply, the Wild Animal Sanctuary exists to eliminate the captive wildlife crisis and to create a magnificent home to rescued animals where they can live out their lives in peace and freedom.
This place truly is amazing, isn't it? A refuge from the hard life so many animals experience before coming here. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the man whose tremendous vision and decades of hard work started the sanctuary. My dear friend, the visionary, founder, and CEO of the Wild Animal Sanctuary, Pat Craig. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled. Thanks for your help tonight. And thank you to everybody that's helping, and thank you to everybody that's watching. So the sanctuary has been around for 42 years. We've been able to go out and rescue literally thousands of animals from really bad situations. And of course, our work has always been important in every aspect in education and getting people to understand the problem. And unfortunately, one of the problems that we ran into was that internationally we started to get calls from animals that were suffering in other countries. And we really wanted to help those animals while also educating people. And so we've started to travel into other countries, from Spain to South America to Mexico, Canada, Lebanon, and all over the world. One of those rescues that we did was in South Korea, and it involved 22 bears that were really in a bad situation that we wanted to educate people about. So this is their story.
That's the one. From the outside, it doesn't look like anything important nor spectacular. Nestled in wooded foothills far removed from the city, this rural farm hides the dark secret of a history of abuse and trauma fueled by the demand of traditional medicines popular in many Asian cultures. Thousands of years of traditional medicines taught that the bile from bears was an important and necessary ingredient in many elixirs, potions, and treatments. In the early 1980s, harvesting bile from live bears became an important industry in many Asian countries, often subsidized by their governments. The process was barbaric. Bears locked into tiny, rusted cages, unable even to turn around, draining bile from their gallbladder 24 hours a day, their life dripping away, drop by drop, hour after hour. And so the farmers bred more and more bears, their bodies merely a cog in a barbaric factory designed for just one thing: to make a ton of money for as long as they could until they died, trapping them forever in the most horrible conditions imaginable, encircled by hellish rebar, concrete, steel bars, surrounded by dirt and filth, given just enough food to keep them alive, serving a growing demand for this bile. And so, for decades, this most secret industry built on the suffering of hundreds of bears continued unabated. Most people in Korea were unaware of the trauma happening right outside their doors. Yet as time went on, animal rights activists sounded the alarm, and soon public opinion began to sway the legislators in Korea. New laws shifted the focus to the bear bile farms, and soon the breeding and importation of the new bears was outlawed. Yet the existing animals continued to suffer. Finally, in 2020, the South Korean government announced a full ban on bear bile farming, a huge success. Yet still, there were hundreds of bears trapped in horrible captivity. Many farmers, now without a reason to keep the bears alive, stopped feeding them, harvesting and selling their organs wherever possible. And so the race was on, to rescue and relocate hundreds of suffering animals before they were euthanized. To save the bears, the Korean Animal Welfare Association, or KAWA, immediately reached out to a long-trusted partner from far overseas, the Wild Animal Sanctuary. Years before, the two organizations partnered together to relocate 3 lions who needed rescuing from the Seoul Zoo following a fatal accident where one of the lions took the life of one of their keepers. Many in the Korean community called for the lions to be euthanized, yet KAWA looked for another option.
Our organization thought that this was also not a fair outcome for the lions. We contacted the Wildlife Animal Sanctuary, and they immediately understood the situation of the lions.
As it is with any international rescue, tremendous amounts of paperwork, negotiation, and coordination was required. Within months, however, the Wild Animal Sanctuary overcame the obstacles, and soon the lions were headed to the sanctuary. When they arrived, the leaders of KAWA who traveled with them were overjoyed at the tremendous peace and wilderness available for these big cats.
I thought it was magnificent. The kind-heartedness that I could feel when I was at the sanctuary was enormous. It was the best day of my life.
너무너무 감동을 받았고 그런 생츄어리를 만들 수 있는 미국 사회와 또 많은 후원자들 그리고 CWAS의 관계자들한테 너무 고맙다는 생각을 했습니다.
And so, years later, KAWA naturally contacted the sanctuary, sharing with them the impending disaster of the Korean bile farm bears. The sanctuary agreed to help, yet the scope of the need was incredible. Rescuing 3 lions is one thing, saving hundreds of bears was a completely different matter. The decision was made to have the Wild Animal Sanctuary rescue a small group of bears so as to raise awareness of the bears' plight and bring the subject of the animals forefront to Korean legislators, in turn raising enough support and community well-being to build in-country sanctuaries in Korea for the remaining bears. And so, on March 14th, 22 bears were tranquilized, given needed medical treatment, and loaded into transport cages, beginning their long journey to the Wild Animal Sanctuary's refuge. These newcomers to the refuge were initially placed in small lockout cages, designed to transition them slowly from the small bear bile farm cages they were used to the massive open habitats of the refuge. There they rested for several weeks as the little bears acclimated to their new home. And then came that one day when their cage doors were open for the very last time, and they stepped out onto bare earth for the first time in their life. At first, most of the bears stayed close to the safety of their lockouts, exploring carefully. Some, not used to the immense space, circled and circled, spinning round and round on the same portion of earth as if they were still inside a small cage, not realizing that for the first time in their life, they could walk in a straight line. As time went on, the bears disappeared over the horizon, deeper and deeper into the trees, canyons, and caves of the refuge. Within months, the bears had completely acclimated to their new home, only emerging from their hiding places to eat and drink, reveling in the quiet and peace of this place. Nature has taken her normal healing course, slowly undoing the damages done to these bears. Now they keep mostly to themselves. Every once in a while, you can see the blink of eyes from beneath a tree, or a cute little bear bottom as it walks over the hill, out of sight, into the wilderness.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again for being here tonight. And thank you, Pat and Maria, for braving this Colorado snow and cold to be out in our lion house. We are so excited to be here. I have our entire staff and crew here behind me. Everybody, they are awesome. They all braved the weather too. So they are here and ready to take your donations. And we have already seen some amazing progress. We've had a number of $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 donations coming in already, which is so incredible. It's really amazing what we all can accomplish, and I just can't wait to see where this night ends up. And I think that we are all just so grateful that you are a part of it. Back to you, Maria.
Wow, wow. That is simply tremendous. It's so great to see what we can all accomplish together, right? So, as you can see, the sanctuary provides an incredible place of peace and freedom for animals who've gone through hell to be here. Now, tonight we've also got a crew down at the refuge, so we can touch base with Taylor. Taylor, are you there?
Hi, Maria. Yes, I'm here. It's dark right now and very windy, but I can tell you it's been pretty lively down here tonight. I think the tigers and lions behind me certainly seem to know it's a huge night for us. We here at the sanctuary take tremendous pride in getting to be the ones to introduce this amazing new home to each animal that comes here. It is awe-inspiring to walk the journey to freedom with each and every one of them. We often wish the animals could talk, could tell their own story and share their journey with us. And so we decided, why not? Why not let them tell their own story in their own words? I am excited to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, a very special spectacled black bear from Argentina named Tupac. Here he is in his very own Voice of Freedom video.
It's beautiful. The early sun rising just over there, peeking through the clefts in those rough cliffs. Oh, I love it. See the light just now, painting the far side of my magnificent canyon, revealing the place of wilderness. Such openness down there below me. The smell of warm earth, pine trees, the sound of hundreds of busy insects, the trill of birds, dazzling, shining, wonderful. Oh, I love it. Every morning I drink this all in. I'm filled up with it, every sense tingling with the joy and exquisiteness of this breathtaking place. My canyon, my home. It's beautiful. I am made alive with beauty. Truly appreciate being able to see the things that stir the soul from within. I don't know why beauty means so much to me. Perhaps because of who I've always been, where I'm from. Even my name speaks of a love of finer things. The word Tupac means royal in the ancient Incan tongue, a name I wear proudly. It fits, no? I, Tupac, the Andean bear of royalty, was born surrounded by centuries of beauty, way down in the Buenos Aires Zoo in Argentina. The Eco Parque de Buenos Aires was a lush and beautiful 45-acre garden surrounded by stone walls and archways, dotted by ancient stone buildings and ruins thousands of years old, blooming beds of fragrant flowers shaded by the giant ancient old trees hundreds of years old. With over 2,500 animals on display, the zoo was the perfect place for visitors to soak in the beauty of exotic life. It truly was a refuge from the loud bustle, traffic, and chaos Buenos Aires is so well known for. And I saw none of it. You see, all of that beauty, all of that nature, truly most of the land was dedicated to creating an exquisite experience for the people who visited, not us animals. So while yes, the Eco Parque de Buenos Aires was our home, it was not so beautiful for us. I was born in a tight concrete grotto, a pit surrounded by the grey stone walls. Just a small pool to drink from and a bit of straw for bedding. Each morning the sun rose unseen, blankly illuminating the sky above us until it emerged full strength over the rim of our pit, baking the rough stone beneath our feet. A footpath above us allowed the visitors to gaze down, pausing to look for just a moment before continuing along through the exquisite gardens far out of sight above us. From my home, I could see little more than the tops of trees barely visible above the rock walls. The only color I knew were the few tendrils of plants and ivy that snaked down the side of our home, giving me my only taste of greenery, of life. Each spring, for just a moment, the vines would bloom and a few exquisite flowers would form. I was enthralled by the colors, enwrapped as if my eyes were seeing for the very first time. Such pure form, such exquisite delicateness. For a few days, my every look was drawn to that dash of color in the corner of our grotto, as if I knew there was so much more for me to see in this world. A deep, deep longing to live a life surrounded by such beauty, all the time. Yet, as it is with all things, life flowed onward. After a bit, the blooms fell away and drifted to the hard floor, slowly losing color and life, muted and dry. As time went on, the city began to take note of various demonstrations being held by citizens who felt that the conditions we were living in were cruel and uncaring. And in 2016, the zoo was officially closed and converted into an ecological park. Most of the animals were to be relocated, so I, my mother Peña, and stepfather Miko were brought here to Colorado, to the refuge. Given a massive 243-acre habitat as our home, 5 times larger than the entire Eco Parque de Buenos Aires, yet just for us. Well, of course, I was in rapture. I'd seen nothing like the refuge before. And while, yes, when I was first released, I stayed close to the lockout, over the next few days I ventured farther and farther, exploring deeper and deeper into the canyons, drinking in the rich tapestry of life, of growth, of wilderness that surrounded me. Words cannot express the feelings that washed over me as I explored this new land. It wasn't too long before I came to the face of a steep rock cliff, pausing for a moment as the ground fell away before me into the most spectacular view. There I sat, breathless, perched on the peak of the highest rock, as ridges, trees, and the canyon floor stretched out below me. Birds whisked through the sky, grasses blowing in the breeze, clouds slowly passing. This, the most beautiful place in the world. This would be my forever home. And so I live here now, surrounded by all I'd ever yearned for. Just below the lip of the cliff, I discovered a small outcropping and shallow cave, perfect shelter from the rain and the sun. Often, I spent hours at the top of the cliff, watching as the sanctuary staff construct ever more habitats for tigers, lions, and other creatures on the canyon floor below. And I smile, knowing that this beauty will restore them, bring healing and life for so many who have experienced only pain. Oh, I love my home, my valley, my canyon. It's just perfect for an Andean spectacled bear like me. We absolutely love perching up high on rocky cliffs where we can look out on the majesty. I have my own feeding area just up a short path at the top of the cliff, always stocked with tasty treats. There's a tank for swimming and drinking just a short path below. I even have my own private bathroom and a place to sleep. Sometimes I'll visit with the crows and other birds who perch along the cliff face, filling the air with curious conversation. Other times, Miko and my mother, they come to visit. But most of the time, I just sit alone on the ledge, soaking it all in. Sometimes I think back to where I came from. The hardened concrete pit I once knew as home, surrounded by beauty but unable to experience it. And I wonder, how was it possible those many years ago to miss something I'd never known, to yearn for something I'd yet to experience? See, when I came to this place, I knew I was where I was meant to be, as if it was always here waiting for me. Even from the first moment, I knew that this was the place where I, Tupac, the royal bear, belonged. I guess this is my kingdom. This rocky perch is my throne, where I wasn't just a spectacle on display for others like back at that zoo in Argentina, surrounded by beauty, yet where the nature that surrounded me was manufactured and fake. Here, the spectacular majesty that surrounds me is truly real, authentically free for me to enjoy. Because this is my home. It's beautiful.
Oh, Tupac, you really captured the beauty and majesty of this amazing place. Thank you for putting into words the spectacular life that so many captive wild animals dream about. Taylor, thanks for introducing us to your friend. Now, if you enjoyed Tupac's story, be sure to check out the Sanctuary's website for more Voice of Freedom videos after the event is over. Okay, now I wanted to introduce you to another member of our management team who's been passionately advocating for these rescued animals for years. Austin.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, no, thanks for being
It's
here.
wonderful to be here. Many times, the events that you see happening on the news impact way more than just the people in a region. Political unrest, upheaval, and war can be devastating, not only to the individuals involved in the conflict, but often animals are unfortunate victims of that strife as well. Animals in zoos or other facilities are treated as simple collateral damage. When tensions rise and horrific violence breaks out, it's at these moments that the sanctuary is called upon to participate in animal welfare efforts to save these animals caught in deadly crossfire.
Tonight, Russia continues its deadly assault throughout Ukraine.
A new look at some of the destruction.
To focus on the strategic port city of Odessa.
Changed beyond recognition.
Attacks on civilian targets are increasing.
Casualties, both military and civilian, are growing.
2 million refugees have escaped Ukraine.
They are reaching the breaking point.
Air raid
Bit
sirens.
by bloody
Vladimir Putin.
Every rescue is a little different. Each presents unique challenges, unique obstacles that must be overcome. Each animal's experience is so very different. There is no such thing as a normal rescue. Yet, for some reason, this rescue seems like so much more. The rescued animals sense that something big is going on. They sense the energy, the nervousness, and are completely aware of the intense drama taking place. They're often on edge and fearful, their adrenaline pumping. They don't know what is happening to them. They don't know what's beyond that caged door. They don't know what incredible life awaits them. And so every effort is made to keep them as calm as possible, to gently transition them to their new home. When the animals are rescued, it often creates a tremendous stir in the local community. It becomes an event with local politicians, news media, and lots of onlookers, all curious about the extraordinary journey of these animals. Rescue days are long days, where time and tremendous care is of the essence. Each moment charged with hard work and patience, each animal's healthy transition of the utmost importance. And so the day wears long as hours pass, as each animal is carefully loaded into the truck. And finally, darkness falls as the truck begins its long journey across the country to the waiting plane.
The mission to rescue the kings of the jungle from the horrors of war.
These lions are being cared for at the same animal refuge as cats from that whole Tiger King saga.
At close to 10,000 acres, staff say this is the largest carnivore sanctuary in the world.
Why so much attention? Is it really possible that these 9 lions have the power to inspire an entire planet? That they're symbolic of so much more? This long journey to come here, to this place, to step out in this moment and to carry with them the hopes and dreams of an entire nation in turmoil, of an entire planet that knows that we can do better, that we must be better. Each of us horrified by the tragic violence, by the images of loss, of waste, of anger, violence, and greed. These lions, these majestic creatures truly capture the hopes of an entire nation undergoing tremendous strife, yet a nation that is strong enough to endure the hard times. It seems this journey is not just these lions' journey. It's representative of all of our path. Their story provides a mirror with which we can truly view ourselves, a reflection of the worst that man can do, yet combined with the best and brightest we can accomplish when we set our hands to something greater, rewriting the wrongs, restoring what is broken, knitting together a world back to the way it should be. And so, one by one, each lion steps out into a life they never knew existed, carrying with them the hope of a better world, a safer world, a world of peace.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm a little shocked right now and so thrilled. I haven't told any of these guys yet, but I just got word we had a $500,000 donation. Oh my gosh. Wow. So thank you, John and Ann P. I won't say your last name, but you know who you are. And I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. We have so many amazing donors here at the Wild Animal Sanctuary, and each and every one of you hold a very real and a very special place in our hearts. And we could not do this without you. So thank you. I've said it three, 4 times now, but the gratitude could not be more real. And our animals would not have this incredible life if it weren't for you guys. So thank you, John and Ann, and we love you. Thank you. So there's a lot more show left to do. We are going to stick around for a while after this too. I know a lot of you have also waited to make your donations until after the videos are all done. So we just thank you for being here tonight, and I hope you're enjoying all of these amazing rescue stories in this videos. Thank you. Back to you, Maria.
I am just so proud of what we can accomplish together. It's really inspiring to stand shoulder to shoulder with all of you to help save these amazing animals. Each rescue costs a lot, from medicines, safe and comfortable transport cages. Moving one of these animals is expensive. I mean, remember, they don't make cat carriers this size. International rescues cost even more, and sometimes partner organizations and countries help carry the load. However, quite often, the sanctuary is left to carry the cost alone. Thankfully, we have amazing supporters who recognize the value of these rescues and step in with special gifts to help fund these urgent rescue missions. The question we are often asked is this: when there are so many animals hurting here in the US, why would we turn our hand to rescuing animals around the world? The answer is simple. Just like how that last video portrayed, when the sanctuary arrives in a new country, we attract tremendous attention to the conditions that these animals are being rescued from. Politicians and local news organizations flock to the situation, sharing the story of both the trauma each animal endures, as well as the fantastic destination that lays ahead of them here at the sanctuary. I mean, many times new legislation is introduced due to the rescue. Often, such as in the case of the Korean moon bears, countries set up new large habitat animal sanctuaries of their own, taking the lead in transforming the lives of all the animals within that country. These high-profile rescues often attract the attention of international press, such as in the case of the Ukrainian lion rescue. And by raising such attention, the sanctuary truly becomes the advocate for all animals held captive, leaving behind a wake of changed opinions, transformed legislation designed to combat this crisis. The ripple effects of that one rescue are felt in these countries and throughout the world for many, many years, transforming life for hundreds, if not thousands of animals in the process, truly making huge strides in healing the global captive wildlife crisis. And that is why we do it. Many people are surprised to find out that the sanctuary receives no federal or state funding and relies solely on donations from people like you who really get it and who are committed to supporting this incredibly vital work of rescues here in the US as well as abroad. You, who've never even been to the sanctuary to see this work firsthand, yet are a huge part of the work through your ongoing gifts. We acknowledge every one of you, wherever you are, for who you are for them.
This truly special place, a sacred refuge, this sanctuary, a home where the years of trauma, of pain, of suffering melt away in the expanse of love that only true nature can bring. A freedom on display for all those who come here, striding through the sky high above, bearing witness to the magnificent transformation that happens here. Yet, so many don't get to visit this sacred space. They may never step out on this walkway, never experience this joy firsthand. But this is their place as well, a home they created together through their compassion. How is it possible to love a creature you've never even met? To care so deeply for those whose path you'll never cross? Those who believe, who give, who join in this work from so far away are a special kind of people. To be so moved by the journey of these amazing animals that they invest in transforming their lives. It's as if they know they are one. It's belief, true goodness, the vital source of life for those who have never really lived. Their hearts beating in unison, even through the miles, viewing the world through shared eyes, tears streaming down their faces as they bear witness to each of the challenges each creature faces, laughing as they finally explore and play. These donors, these animals, their lives forever joined through these many miles. And so, we salute you. Those who give so generously, even though we may never have even met you. For each gift big and small, your love washes all over this blessed sanctuary. Because without you, this place wouldn't be this place. and they wouldn't be this free.
That is simply incredible. We love each and every one of you who believes in this mission. Our goal here at the sanctuary is to transform the lives of each of these animals who've spent days, weeks, months, and years in tragic conditions, wasting away in captivity. Your gifts tonight are instrumental in that transformation, and so thank you so much for joining us tonight and for being such a huge part of the sanctuary's work here in the U.S. and throughout the world. Oh, and as we're drawing to a close, I want you to know that we'll keep this live stream going for the next hour or so to give you an opportunity to get in and give a donation and truly push that meter up. Jess, can you periodically update everyone to let them know how we're doing for the next bid? Okay, great. Thank you. All right, everyone, let's really make this a historic night. Yes. We love all of you. Thank you, and have a wonderful night. Woo!
Wow. Just wow, everybody. I've recomposed myself, so sorry about that. And we are going to be here for at least until 8 p.m. Mountain Time, still taking those donations. I know a lot of you have waited. We are about 2/3 of the way to our goal right now, which is absolutely incredible. And so I want to direct everybody to the leaderboard. We have had so many amazing donations tonight from just all of our incredible supporters. So these leaders are instrumental to our mission and everything we do. And please, everyone, I know it's been a tough year. It's been a tough couple of years. Every little bit counts, every dime, every dollar. So please keep giving, and we hope you enjoy the rest of our presentation and show. And thank you again for being here tonight. I will try to pop in again later, but we'll keep this thermometer threshold going for you so you can continue to see where we're at, so we can hit that $1 million goal for the Wild Animal Sanctuary and the animals. Thank you all.